every company now they're restructuring roles. So you're putting together marketing with prospecting. You're putting together your product management with coding, right?
Mhm.
You're combining roles because somebody who's a good performer can outperform 10 other people thanks to AI. So if you're not that person that has the capability to leverage these tools and actually take action and do things, you're going to be gone.
Yeah, I love it. So I gave a presentation on AI in business last week, and my opening line was, what was it? It's like AI is not going to replace you, but someone using AI will. That was my opening
Yep.
statement. Welcome to Sharpen the Spear podcast, where we help manufacturing executives command the front and win the floor. I'm Richard Walsh, creator of the Sharpened Impact methodology, and I spent decades helping leaders transform frontline teams, unlock hidden profit, and capture capacity they didn't even know they had. If you want to see where your leadership gaps are costing you and how to fix them, head over to grittolead.com and run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator today. Let's sharpen your edge and get started. And we are back on STS Sharpen the Spear podcast with another incredible guest. I've got Azgari Lipshy with us today. And Azgari, no one knows Azgari as well as Azgari. So Azgari, give us the backstory, bring us up to speed, and we'll get into the conversation.
Well, I have to say my mother would disagree with you because she thinks she knows me better than I do and
They all
anybody
do.
else in the world.
They all do. That's part of being a mother.
So give you a little backstory on myself. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started at 16. Um, I would say that contributes to the fact that I've had amazing mentors that I grew up with, all from a family of entrepreneurs, manufacturing backgrounds. From 16 till now, I think I have started, purchased, scaled, exited more than 12 companies so far that are my own.
Nice.
And I love that 0 to 1 space so much that my current company, which is a non-for-profit, Azgari Foundation, all we do is help individuals launch small businesses for themselves. And we are the management and operations team for them. So I get to build and scale startups all day long, and I love it.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome. It's interesting because startup is like a relative term. Okay. You'll hear startup and some are like, well, I'm me and I got a hot dog cart. I'm a startup. Okay. And then there's
Yeah.
me and I've got a tech business that I need, $150 million, to get it off the
Right.
ground,
Right.
and stuff. So
Yeah.
it can really span the whole
Yeah.
thing. Right. So,
Let me double click into it then.
yeah,
Make it easy for you. Sorry, go on.
that's okay. Are you still doing startups in the manufacturing industry, or does it vary on the industries that you're working with?
So my personal expertise and background is from a manufacturing in the food and garment sector. That's where I built my first 10 years of career. From there, I transitioned more to service-based businesses. So things that are a lot more simple, right? You have lawn care, specific types of consultancies, things that are way more straightforward. Don't require complex product development and distribution like manufacturing. And the reason for that is one, it's easier to build absentee models. For example, I currently have 2 construction companies. Both I have operators in place. I'm not involved in the day-to-day. And it only took me 12 to 16, 18 months to do that, to get it to a position where I'm not required on a day-to-day basis. And I'm able to do that with my clients as well, so long as it's a simple service-based business model. So think consultancy firms, lawn care, staffing agencies, things of that nature. Does
Right.
that simplify a little bit more?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I've always been a service-based business. last 30 years plus. Now it's and it still is. I guess the new one is that, but it's in manufacturing now, so it's a little bit different.
Oh,
But I'm helping the manufacturing industry. I'm
cool.
changing the manufacturing industry, and you'll love it. We'll talk about it when
Oh,
we get done with this.
we
Today,
can.
it's
Yeah, I
about
was
you.
gonna say.
But you'll love it. It's awesome. But the service-based, that was like my thing. And that's who I would coach and help to construction, trades, all that stuff, because that is, I mean, it's never going away, for one. I was just having a conversation this morning, Asgari, with my son's girlfriend about what she wants to do. She goes, I think I want to be a plumber. I'm like, that's
Wow.
awesome. But she's a super hard worker. I'm like, you will
Yeah,
crush it. I said, get in, go to the tech school, get this, go through, learn it, start a business,
I would
spend three
love
to
her
five years
number.
and make that happen. Cause then you'll have that's where it's at. It's great that nothing wrong with being straight plumber, be a contractor that way and stuff. But when you start to launch into the business aspect, I said, because today you've got every tool you can imagine. People like you, for one, not calling you a tool, just
Well, yeah, I am a management tool. Absolutely. It's
right.
like you
So
said.
yeah, but take that, and I said, and that and AI and everything else that can help run that back office stuff and everything else. You start utilizing these tools, you can really scale. And those are very difficult businesses to scale in the past. Are you
Yep.
finding that? Are you seeing now like there's a real, I mean, you're obviously being an absentee owner, if you will, right? Because of your system, which is awesome. But do you find it now in the service sector to be much easier to scale now due to things like AI and coaching and things like that?
1,000%. Before, when we had a blueprint where we had to do a bid request for, it would take us weeks to
Mm-hmm.
go through the blueprints to, literally scale and hand measure.
In there. Yeah. Yeah.
It just you get a fever the day you know you have a new RFP that you got to promote.
Right.
But now there's so many AI softwares. They're terrible. Some parts of it are terrible,
Mm-hmm.
but there are parts that it does for you that now you can do an RFP in maybe 5 to 8 hours, which took you 2 weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks and 5 people. Now 4 to 8 hours, one person.
Yeah,
So
it's immeasurable.
absolutely, it's
Yeah,
yeah, it's
spectacular.
amazing.
Yeah,
Same
it's
with marketing, right? With a small business owner, let's say your daughter, maybe soon to be daughter-in-law, who knows?
right.
But she, she would have access to create her entire marketing stack for her business without needing to hire anybody.
Right.
Where 5 years ago, you would need at least 10 different freelancers to piecemeal together your social media package, your management, your static ads, forget about video production.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
it's
the barrier to entry, that's what's great about it. It's a
zero
low
now.
cost. I mean, back in the day when I did my man, just printing flyers was like $2,500. Okay, like insane. Everything was just, you needed the expert, needed all this stuff. There just wasn't any of that. And you know what? And none of that stuff really produced any work. It was like flushing money down the toilet. You got your hand in these things out like this. I remember I get in magazines, they do articles on me and I'd be on covers or whatever. And they'll say, "Oh, that must have got you a lot of work." I said, "Yeah, it didn't get me any. Okay. It doesn't give me any work." And they go, "Well," I go, "what it does is it builds authority. I can put it in my portfolio and show people, look, I'm going to cover a magazine. I'm in this magazine. It's a 4-page spread." Then they go, "Oh, he must be really good." But no one was calling me because they read the article. Like
Yep.
never. Okay, so sometimes we think one thing and another, and now with AI, you can run these scenarios through them. Like what is an expected outcome on this and this and this, and like you said, it shaves the time down. I am a big fan. Is all I'm saying. Like and
Same.
there's never been a better time to get into business than
Yep.
today. Like
Yep. Absolutely.
it's just awesome. It's just awesome.
And it's also a great time to get in because there is so many massive layoffs. I don't know a single human who has a corporate job, whether if you're an executive or you have a supervisor role, that doesn't have anxiety and needs to be on Zoloft because every quarter, including their dogs probably,
Yeah, yeah.
that constantly are in fear that, man, I think next layoff round, I'll be gone.
Well,
And
here's the
yeah,
no, you're right. I had a guest on last night, AI guy, and we were talking about that, the white collar, the exit of the white collar. And his point, he does the human side of AI. So he's really, really
interesting.
cool. Like he's really, and our both of us were saying, well, here's the deal. If you're in a white collar position right now, you're lawyers and you're attorneys and you're whatever it is, right? Your job's going away. Okay. Well, instead of waiting until you get canned and then you drain that 100 grand you've saved and that's gone in 10 months. Okay. And now you're destitute. You need to start thinking now, how do you utilize AI to make that shift? Where are you going? Are you going to be a consultant? Going to be an advisor? Are you going to start a whole nother being and start a service business? What are you going to do? Like, you need to stop worrying because you know what alleviates anxiety better than Zoloft?
Action.
Action. Yeah, that's it. That is it. I love it. That's what alleviates anxiety is action.
Yeah,
Do something. Do something about it. Stop wringing your hands, twirling in your chair with the great view that's going to be gone soon. Like let's get
yeah.
busy and make something happen. So I love it. I'm glad we're on the same page with that because it's not the end of the world. It's just a reason for you to shift and do something that's going to be uncomfortable, but it's going to pay big in the end.
And I say this, and I'm sure people will hate me for saying it, but AI is going to not get rid of everybody. It's going to get rid of the lazy people, right? People who fill
Amen.
their calendars with bullshit meetings so that they can say they're busy and
Mm-hmm.
doing work when in fact they don't actually deliver anything.
That's right.
Every company now is they're restructuring roles. So you're putting together marketing with prospecting, you're putting together your product management with coding, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're combining roles because somebody who's a good performer can outperform 10 other people thanks to AI. So if you're not that person that has the capability to leverage these tools and actually take action and do things, you're going to be gone.
Yeah, I love it. So I gave a presentation on AI in business last week, and my opening line was, what was it? It's like AI is not going to replace you, but someone using AI will. That was my opening
Yep.
statement. I go, just
Yeah.
just let that soak in for a minute
Yeah.
and understand. So you have a choice.
Yeah.
You have a choice right now. It's still early,
Yep.
relatively speaking, but you need to get on the ball with this and make it work. Now, what I've done for my service businesses, like my construction, my high end builders, and everything else, what I've done is use AI and brought it in to handle that day to day, that mundane, the phone answer, the account, all of that to prepare them to scale.
Yeah.
Because now
Redundancy
they
gone.
can go take real ground, right? Because they're not worried about that. They can focus on their real talent, their installers, their craftsmen, focus on building that team because that's the hardest part of the business.
Yes.
Getting the right guy. So
Yep.
you need that. But I always say too, I love to get your feedback on this. The thing about AI and putting it in place and doing these tasks, it's eliminating jobs, I'll air quote, that people don't want to do. But here's what it's not doing. It's not getting rid of the people. It's enabling those people to have greater mental bandwidth to do more difficult work, more challenging work, do bigger work and better things. You're pulling them out of the dregs and you're actually elevating them. So from an ownership standpoint, some guys think like, well, I'm like replacing my staff and this, and we get the dollar aspect. We understand the profit thing, but we're really not thinking about what to do with the people now. It's not kick them to the curb. Help them step up. Find a place in your business where they can do way bigger things and become a true asset for your business.
Yeah. 100%. It's not getting rid of them. Well, actually, they'll self select, if I'm being
Oh, there
honest.
you
They
go.
will self select people who are lazy, people who don't want to grow and learn and expand. They are going to just self select themselves out of work because that excuse of, I am busy, but you have no output to show for your busyness
Yep.
is not going to fly anymore because people can be superhumans now. with the help of AI. You could be one person, but like you said, now you're able to manage so many different things and still save more time that if you're not putting in the output, you're not needed anymore.
Yeah, and I tell people, because they, say, oh, AI does everything. No, you have to be awake. You have to be, you're in charge. Okay. Don't throw your
It's
hands up
only
and
as
say,
good as you.
that's right. That's right. It takes the brain power. It takes capacity. You have to fine tune. There's a lot to it. Like I've been neck deep in this stuff for whatever year and a half, 2 years now. But it's like it is an incredible tool. But like a hammer or a saw, it's not going to start itself. It's not going to cut the wood by itself. Okay. Someone has to do. Someone has to measure. Someone has to snap that chalk line. Someone's got to run that thing. You got to do that stuff. Okay.
Yep.
But in the planning stages, yeah, you mentioned project management. It's an incredible tool for project
Oh my
management.
gosh.
Holy
Yes.
cow, estimating both those things. Like it's like unless you, if you haven't done it, you might not get it. But if you've done the work on
Yeah.
using this tool, you're like the happiest
Yeah.
person on the planet.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, I feel like that kid that, I'm like looking for my mom. Like I want to tell my mom, like, Mom, look what I did.
yeah,
Like,
look, I put it on the fridge. I'm coming home and just putting chat things on the fridge. Look what I'm doing. So yeah, it's really it's really fascinating. But I think more and more people, I don't know, what are you seeing, Asgari, as far as the embracement of AI on the business end? Okay, so we got your white collar guys and the lazy, and we got all that. But from the business end, are people reaching out to you? I know you're helping them start, but and you're probably part of your tools introducing this. But are they encouraged by it? Are they apprehensive? What are you seeing out there as far as the embracement of AI and helping them as a tool?
so that's the irony of it. You might have executives who've been laid off because of AI, but now they're coming to me to start their own businesses. And part of what we do is implement AI in every vertical of the businesses that we launch for them. So their marketing stack, their prospecting stack, their accounting software, right? Back in the day, you had to get an accountant from day one when you started a business. Now we have software that you pay less than $50 a month for, and you have your P&L every month.
Yeah.
So in incorporating different AI and software tech stack in every vertical of their business has saved them from needing to hire or have other consultants and freelancers interjected in the beginning when they don't have revenue, right? So
Right.
it's been a huge leap in progress for small startups or small businesses in general.
Yeah, it's that low barrier to entry. What used to be like, that's really a lot, to get going. I mean, I started way back in the day with the wheelbarrow and the shovel. It was an $85 investment. Okay. And I shoveled 35 tons of granite in one day, spread it for this guy on a Saturday. And he came out, and he put $1,000 in my hand. Now, this is in the late 80s. I'm
Ooh.
working for $5 an hour, swinging a pickaxe all day, digging trench, $5 an hour. This dude put $1,000 in my hand. I worked 10 hours. It was Tucson, so it was 110 degrees. But I'm looking at him like, it's $1,000. Like, I did this yesterday for $40. Okay. I know my future. I will shovel rock every day, all day for $1,000 a day. Okay.
Yeah.
Back then that was amazing. So, but it was that revelation of self-employment, like, okay, I can do this, but I literally started with $85. That was my last $85. That was payday. Okay. It was my last $85 from my other stuff. And I went and did that. And then like that just changed everything, the whole future for me because of that one thing. Cause I had no idea what I was going to get. I just knew I'd get something. Didn't even agree on a price because I'm just a goof. I'm just a strong dude with a good work ethic. But it really paid off. So it's kind of that, but seeing that low barrier to entry on a higher level. What I mean by that is, yeah, I was shoveling granite. Okay. Like that's not sophisticated. Okay. It's
Hey,
needed,
if it
but
makes
it's not,
money, it makes
hey,
money.
exactly. But I'm saying, but people now it touches all levels. It touches that shovel rock level. Like you said, an accounting thing, that isn't an expense that's hard for people back in the day. And you know what that would cost them? They weren't paying their
Oh my
taxes.
gosh.
They weren't
Yeah.
tracking their number. It was a disaster for your business.
Yeah.
You're just flying by the seat of your pants. You're trying to
Yep.
make payroll in the next week if you even have payroll. You know what I mean? And that whole thing. So this and another thing with the AI that I love, and you probably use this as well, is you can organize your business in minutes, right? I mean, it like literally will roll this out, and you're like, oh, that's I never thought of any of that.
Yeah, I just got 1,000 times smarter than I was 2 seconds ago.
That's right. That's right. You know, and it's just it, and I'll use the F word. It's fun. Okay, it's just like it's a good time, like you really because it's see it, and you again you don't have to be a genius. You know, Henry
Yeah.
Ford was not a genius. He just knew how to hire all the right people. Okay,
Yep.
didn't know how anything was made. Didn't care. Just
Yeah.
get put it together, make it work. You know, it's beautiful. So it's the same concept. See, things don't really
It is
change.
the same. No.
You just get new
It's
tools.
it's interesting you say that because the first lesson, which it didn't fully soak in until much decades later that my dad taught me or tried to teach me. Um, I think I was like 7 or 8, as you can, I'm sure, already guess. I was an overactive child, just unnecessarily inquisitive about everything and anything. So I've always just liked doing things with my hand and like just doing everything. So one of the things he said to me is like, you know, smart people find other capable people to do things for you. Stop doing everything. I didn't get it. It took almost 2 decades to fully
Yeah.
grasp what he was trying to teach me. Delegation.
Right.
You find capable people to do things for you.
Yeah, it's really the key to success. It took me a while to learn that teaching my kids. I've got 6 kids, and when they were younger, they have $5, 5 singles, and have this, and they're all excited. I said, so well, what should I do with it? They would ask me and stuff. I said, well, I want you to think about it this way. Remember when Dad had this bigger company? I had all those people working for me, right? He goes, every dollar is a worker. Okay, the more dollars you have, the more workers you had. Now, when I had a lot of workers, what else did I have? Like a lot of money. I go, yeah. See, it kind of goes together. So on the money side, if you treat each dollar as a worker, you want to get more workers. So keep getting more workers, and then you can do more things and make more money. So it was my sideways way of coming in and saying, big money does big things. You get more, more that you can then invest it. Then you get your business, but it also went right into one other story. We had a big snowstorm here in Wisconsin, and my one of my sons was making these snow caves. So he's digging out a snow cave and make one, makes another one next one. He's on his fourth one, right? And I got him curled up inside there and now outside, and it's like 10 degrees. I got the video on. This had to be 15 years ago, but I got my little video camera and I got that on him, and I'm like, his name's Augie. I go, so Augie, so you got 4 little snow caves now. That's pretty. He goes, yeah. I go, well, what are you going to do with them? He goes, well, I don't know. I've got them. I can be in each one. So, or you could live in one and rent out the other 3. And he's like, I don't know, he's like 8, 7 or 8, maybe 6 years or whatever it was. And he's like, that's a really good idea. That's how you got to think. Way to go. You built these, 4 domains and you can live one. So really cool. You like later now he's an adult, like that's what he's doing. Like he's a real estate guy. He's like, fine, I bought my first, duplex and I live in one and do the other. And he's like, I'm like, well, there you go. So you never know when those ideas are going to stick. Your
Yeah.
dad planted it. It took a while for that seed to grow for you, but you get it. And that's part of being a parent. I have a
Yeah.
saying, as Gary, I tell my kids when I give them those words of wisdom like that, and they're kind of looking at me like, no, I'm like, you can thank me later.
Yeah.
You can thank me later for this because I know it's not hitting you right now, but you're going to get it. Then you can just give me a holler when you're 30. Okay. That was a really good idea 20 years ago. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully they'll just remember that you said it. That's all you can hope for.
Exactly. So you grew up in an entrepreneurial family. Okay. So and this is one of those things about proximity. Okay. Being
100%,
around things. This is
1,000%.
right, really important. You know, I always like, so again, 6 kids, and I tell them no one has to be an entrepreneur. Okay, no, but they have grown up in my businesses. They've sat in my gym as I'm doing memberships or I'm training people, and I got other trainers doing. They're there. They're at the construction business when I'm doing roofing and doing all. So like, it's just being around it,
Yep.
and seeing it function properly. They may or may not do it. It's all up to them. They can do whatever they're going to do. But what did you find? Obviously, you got into it. 16, you're starting your first business, which is awesome. But what was that kind of overall effect of that proximity? Was that like the key driver for you, or is it just you were really drawn to do that because for whatever reason?
I think it's both because I have two other sisters. Both of them are, one of them is a PhD professor, the other is a school counselor, but then there's me. And so, but we all grew up in the same household, right? With the same parents, with the same uncles, and everybody else who's an entrepreneur. Um, so I think there's a part of it where it is individual personality kicks in and what you encode and decode from those information that's around you. For my sisters, they could never imagine themselves as business owners. They like having a salary, they like teaching. Nothing
Yeah,
wrong with it, but I
right.
can't ever imagine doing that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's
But for me, it was it was seeing the respect that my father always had with people. It was seeing how unselfish he was and generous he was, where I know behind the story because I'm with him. And
right.
the people he's interacting with, they're just seeing him being generous. But I know
Mhm.
the backstory of maybe, he doesn't even have it, but he's offering this.
Right.
So just seeing that side of him, seeing what it really takes to be an entrepreneur, where you think differently, right? You think about other people, you think about everything from a bird's eye lens, but then at the same time, you're looking at things from a very detailed micro and my I guess so many verticals at the same time. It was very
Right.
fascinating for me as a kid.
Yeah, I think because I mean, a very few small percentage of people are entrepreneurs. Okay, that's just the reality of it because it's difficult. Okay, like you said, from the granular to the high view, the 10,000 foot
Yep,
view,
yep, yep.
you have to work both, and then the day to day, and especially starting the first 2 years. What I found, I wrote this book called "Escape the Owner Prison," right? And what I started seeing the pattern was people would start a business, wear nine hats, what you got to do, right? Get it all done. The first 2 years, you're going to work a lot of hours on it. But then I always tell them, then snap your fingers. It's 10 years and you've repeated the first 2 years 5 times. That's the
Oof.
prison.
Yeah,
Business doesn't run if you don't open the door. If you're not hiring, if you're not firing, if you're not, making sure payroll's there, like that is, and they're doing a little better than they were if they worked for someone and they have this false sense of freedom and everything else and they're worse off so it's
yeah,
important. I'd love to talk about this a little bit because now that's you understand your exit, if you will. I'm going to call it an exit from the
yeah.
business when you're working with these people. So let's dive into that a little bit because I wrote a book on it, so I don't need to talk about it. But I want to hear your point of view on this and what made you actually figure this out and made that the priority, whether it's your own business or someone else's.
I would say a lot of success at an early age, right? I'm sure you know exactly what you're talking about, right? I was working 20-hour days, 7 days a
Mhm.
week. Other things fall off when you do that.
Yep.
And those other things tend to be your family, your relationships, your everything else, everything. And when I went through that cycle and exited my first two companies, it didn't feel like a success because on the other end of that exit and now coming into funds and time, which I didn't have before, what I didn't have, or what I did also have, is a divorce.
Mhm.
Our kids who called my in-laws mom because they barely ever saw me.
Right. Right.
So, you know, at that point, understanding that systems, SOPs, processes they're not just nice to haves in a business. They are they are the heart and blood of it. Because without it, you're not a business owner. You're an employee
Yep.
who's getting paid a lot less and working a lot more with no end in sight, right? Where is this going? So
Yep.
every business I build now for my clients and myself, one of the first questions I ask if I'm working with the client is, what's your plan? Do you want to build this and leave it to your kids, or do you want to exit? Because we're going to build the business very differently based on this answer that you give me.
Yeah, I always tell people too, and do the same kind of questions. I go, now, when you tell me you want to leave it to your kids, what makes you think your kids want it?
Yeah, do they know this?
Yeah, if you told them, because that could be a curse. Okay, because as you mentioned, and I was subject to the same thing. If they see you being in the owner prison, if they see you chained for 18 hours a day, they want nothing to do with that business. When you never come to their game, you never come to the recital, you're never at the dinner table. I go, trust me, they don't want your business because it's prison. They
Well,
don't
not
want to go
just
to
that, they
prison.
hate it
That's
because
it.
they resent it because
That's
they
it.
think they got you and they didn't.
Yep. Yeah. I always describe it. I said business, it, as you can attest to, destroys a lot of relationships. I go, it's a mistress. Okay. It's going to call you in the night. It's going to want to be with you early. It's going to want you thinking about it all the time. And you're in it. And it's just, I got to go. I got to go. I got to go. And it will just, just like you said, you'll do one thing. Your business may do well. I'll air quote well, but everything else in your life is on the trash heap. You
It
know?
has to be a group effort, right? If you're going to be getting into entrepreneurship, you need to have that pact and contract with your family, with your friends, like, hey, I'm going to go into a hole and I need you guys to support me on this, because the reality of it is, if you want to be successful, you have to give it that maniacal focus no matter what. But you do it in sprints, right? You have seasons where, okay, next 2 years I'm going to eat shit
Yeah.
so that I can set up the processes and SOPs and train the right people so that I can slowly make myself obsolete for little bits at a time. And then I'll come back. But having that pact with the family where they have a timeline, right? That I'll be gone for 2 years. What I mean by that is I'll be here, but this is going to take more precedence. Can you guys support me? And then include them in the process. That's the part
Yeah.
people fail to do, and
I,
obviously results in.
yeah, I love you're saying this because I do the exact same thing. I like you. They don't need to be part of your business. This is the key thing. They don't need to be part of your business. What you need is cheerleaders. They need to understand that for the next 3 months, the next 6 months, hey, we're going in a growth phase now. So the next 3 months, I'm focused on new territory, everything else. I need to understand there's going to be a little less of this, a little less of that, but I'm here. But I really need you need to know, if you come home as a business owner and they ask how was your day, you wouldn't understand this business. Okay, right there, you're done. Like
Yep.
you just told them to shut up, don't talk to me. They're literally interested and you don't want to share it. Like they have to understand. And same thing, I may come home and not be super available the first 20 minutes because I have to decompress from a 13-hour day. I mean, doing this stuff like, or I've got to go to the gym first or whatever it is. But I love that you're really dialed into that, because if you don't include them, just all that's going to go away.
Yep.
There's the law. It's called the Parkinson's law, right? And it talks about money. If your money doesn't have a place to go, predetermined place to go, it will evaporate. Well, same thing with your friends and your spouse, okay, and everything else in your life, your hobbies. If they don't have a place, they're going to go away. Stop talking to your friends; they'll go away. Stop talking to
Yep.
your spouse; they'll go away. Okay, I mean, it's a law. Like you have to understand, they all don't get equal attention, right? It's
No,
not
it
this
can't. It's impossible.
exactly,
You
and that
can't do it all at once. You have to give it time. Like, this is my block. This is my season to do this. I
yep,
need everybody else to support. The other thing that does is people who aren't supportive, they will leave your life, but then that's actually a good thing for you.
heck yeah.
They don't belong in your future.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute because this is something that's hard for a lot of people. I had this discussion this morning with my son's girlfriend. We're talking, and I'm like, there's seasons. I use that word in particular, really really important. And with age, you learn what seasons really are When you're young, you don't know what a season is. Okay. But as you get older and you do a lot of stuff, you learn these seasons. But I said, you've got to start to be able to say no to certain people. And that can include your own family. You know what I mean? Brother, sister, whatever. Depend on the situation, right? You have things to achieve. You're going to move into these seasons. It might be 3 years, might be 1 year, might be 10 years, whatever that is. But you have to understand that you have to be super selective on who gets your time. Because anything you say yes to, you're saying no to something else and vice versa. Right? So talk about that a little bit, because I'm sure you had to experience this and go through this over 12 businesses. You know, it had to have quite an ebb and flow.
So before I go into my own business, I'll tell you more currently working with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Most people are squirrel brained, right? They'll come to you with 50 ideas or 50 things they want to do. They want to start a business with 50 different product or service offerings.
Right.
And to them, all of those things are great and they need to do this. And it's like one thing, one product, one service, one focused customer that we're going to go after. And then as we grow, we'll add more. But why? No, then we're going to miss out. No, you won't.
Right.
You won't. You won't miss out because you're trying to catch everything like this. That's not how you catch things.
You know what you can say to them? Azgari, go, oh, so let me ask you then. In all the other businesses you started and ran, is that how you did it? Oh, you've never started a business before.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the time when you listen.
Yeah.
It's one, like, get a main thing, make it the main thing, drive that main thing. It's a wheel. You start with one hub and one spoke. And then later, when you're going well, starting to pick up speed, then you get another spoke, another, another stream of income, another product, another service. I get it. You build on that. But if you can't do one thing right, you can't do 10. Right.
And how are you going to be known? What are you going to be known for? I mean, I work with companies that are more seasoned, that are in their third, fourth, fifth year, but that's not what I advertise. I advertise 0 to 1 startups, your launch phase, right? So you have to pick a lane that people know you for.
I'll see in a van, right? You got, the plumber or the whatever, whoever the contractor is. And my favorite thing is they got their name and they got this one, then they got specializing in. They got specializing in. There's like 15 things. I go, how are you a specialist in 15 things? Okay. That is like, it's just funny. I mean, I take pictures of this. I'm always taking pictures of like fans and branding and stuff like that. I just find it hilarious. And I find some really good ones too. They really understand. I do this and only this. I had a guy, you'll appreciate this. So white van, big, Dodge van, flat side, and it said Bell, BLL, his name, drywall. Huge. That's it. And then his
Love
number.
it. Love it.
This is my favorite picture.
Yeah.
So I call the guy. Like, I want to have him on my podcast. I do, let's talk. He's local, right? He's in my area.
Yeah.
So I call him up and I get a hold of him. He's like, no, dude, I'm in Florida, man. I'm retired. 30 years. And I look at his website. You want to talk about a specialist. He doesn't do insulation. He does drywall. And that's it. He doesn't do anything. And he's a craftsman. 30, like, this guy can do the most unbelievable things. And that's all he does. I don't do any. And I'm like, and he's happy to be retired. But I always just tell him, I use your van all the time when I talk.
So if he's retired, who's driving around the van?
No, it's gone now. I caught him. He retired like the month before I called him.
Oh my gosh. Yeah,
nope, I just
missed
left,
him.
man. I'm down in Florida. Never coming back there. Spent 30 some years of doing the business. He's good. So, but he was but we got chatting. I just talked to him. I'd still like to have him on, just from the experience. But like, that's the guy who did one thing and was great at it. So, you call that guy, like I'd tell anyone when he's there, like, this would be the guy you call. And then you just write a check. And it's going to be done right. It's going to be amazing. And like, you can just be 100% confident in that, those are real craftsmen who understand their lane and they work in it. Now, I get a business and you want to have other offerings, but then you have other craftsmen. Don't be the guy who does, well, those are handymen. And we need those guys too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. For smaller projects.
Every contractor needs a good handyman.
Yes. Or a few. Yep.
Yeah. Fill the gaps. Go
Yep.
fix this, go do some warranty work, stuff like that. It's all good. So yeah, I get it for sure. So let me ask you, going forward, through the businesses, helping these businesses, let's talk about that a little bit as they come in. So you're working with both. You're semi-established. The 3 to 5 year point. They're at that, but you really is your passion on the startup side. Where do you, because they're different animals.
Oh my gosh, very different. It's like, yeah, kindergarten to fourth grade is a whole different set of
Right.
skill set to scale. Yeah, very,
Right.
very different. So I would say 0 to 1. That's what I genuinely love, because that's when the most massive growth happens, right? You go from a person who came in and they're like, I don't know what I want to do. I'm not even sure what industry. I just know I want to do something on my own. To take them from that to the end of the year, we're having discussions about, well, we got to file your 1099 employees. Now you have 3 of them. It's just that growth is very, very rewarding for me.
Well, you have what I call the first year is ignorance on fire.
Yes.
Okay, I
Yeah.
love it. You can get a lot done. You can get a lot
Yeah.
done in that phase because
Yeah.
they can take the hits. You know what I mean? They're just so excited. So you can, and I can imagine, you kind of can just absorb that energy and go with them. It's a
Well,
short ride, but it's a
yeah.
fun ride, you know?
Yes. And we have the systems in place, right? So, what used to be an extremely chaotic, anxiety ridden, I don't know, ambiguity space for a first time entrepreneur is very systematized and structured, right? We know exactly what type of competitive analysis to do in the beginning, to narrow down to what type of business model, to then methodically launching that, setting up the marketing, doing the hiring of staff, training the staff, every aspect and every vertical, right? It's very systematized. And I would say, I mean, I've actually had clients who would describe the process as it was easy. I just get on a 2 hour phone call.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, that is amazing that you've created that system because that is where all new businesses fall down. They
Yep,
get crushed.
exactly.
I mean, and most can never get to it in the first year because they're just trying to get the next sale.
Yep,
They're trying to, income. Let's get some
yep.
revenue, man. Let's get something going. And they don't think about. I didn't think about it. I just
No, I
shoveling
didn't
rock.
either.
I'm shoveling
Yeah,
rock. What do I got to write down? I just
yeah.
got to go. Take a shower. That's all I got to do. Get the sweat off me. But it was a long time before I really understood it. Even I'd say the first 20 years, I have on my air quote systems, but they weren't systems. It wasn't for my business. It was just like I just kind of went by, went through a few accountants, and stuff like that, trying to get a good one and things like that. And I was getting great advice that I never took.
Oh,
Okay,
that's standard in the
dude,
beginning.
I was a no help. No one's helping me. This is my gig. I'm doing this. I mean, I tell people, and I'm not even multi-billionaire clients giving me business advice. I'm going, what do you know? You don't do what I do. I mean, just to level it, they just own factories and professional sports teams and everything else you can imagine. But what do they know? You're not
What do
me.
they know?
I'm an artist who makes money. So it's just you look back and you have to laugh, otherwise you cry. But I end up losing everything in 0809. I started from zero because I don't listen to anyone. So now I always listen to people. I started a podcast just so I could hear more things. Okay. Just so I can overdo it. So I can be overloaded with cool ideas and things like that. It's fun because I want other people to listen and learn. There were no podcasts back then. You
Right.
didn't have anywhere to go.
Yeah.
There's no coaches unless
Right.
you were like a gazillionaire,
Yeah.
C-suite CEO
Right.
of
Then
a
you had a
Fortune 100 company or something. But otherwise, there wasn't the access we have now. When we talked like in the beginning, the the low barrier to entries, the access to great help, people like you who are doing this as a business, able to come and just even finding people who, if you're open to mentoring, if you're brand new, you don't even know what you're going to do. You start with a lunch with someone who maybe has been where you want to be and pay for the lunch and keep it to an hour and let the poor guy go. Okay. But like just go in and do the right thing and then really marinate on that. And how do
yeah.
I apply that? Reach out. Some of my best clients are ones who will do a 1 hour call a week. I'll get on and we'll decide what to do. I'll tell them what to do. And I come back next Tuesday and guess what they've done? Exactly what I told them to do. Okay.
Oh, that's
Every
a,
week I'm
yeah,
like, it's unbelievable. And the ones who don't, well, they're soon
they don't
fired as a client.
progress.
I get rid
Yeah.
of them. And you're making me look bad. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't care about your money. You're ruining my
100%.
reputation because you're not
Yep.
doing what I'm telling you. And if you're, so you have to be able to take that coaching, be trainable, be coachable, and again, I think that's why you probably really enjoy the 0 to 1. Not saying they're all trainable and coachable, but
They're not.
they can't fall back on their own experience. They can't use that as a buffer, right?
That's true. So I think it's also everyone I'm working with, they're all full-time employed, right? Everybody has a full-time career.
Okay.
A lot of them are executives. So we're building out their business on the side.
Nice.
So they don't have the time to sit there and think of 50 things to do. So and they do sometimes in the beginning, but I quickly rein them in. And then after that, they understand that, okay, there's a reason why we're doing things in a specific, pattern. For example, I think the first few weeks, everybody has these jitters where they're burning a hole in their pocket. Like, should I go do this? Should I go buy that? Should I get this? It's like, no, shut up. You don't, that's why you hired us. We'll do everything that we
I'm the
need
only one you're
to.
going to spend money on right now. Me, the coach. Okay. You're going to need all your dollars for that.
I'll give you
So,
an example. We had one guy, we just launched his business. It's been 2 days. He calls me. He's like, I went and got the Amex card that's like $500 a year. And it's an HVAC business. And I'm sitting here going, did I tell you to go get a business credit card?
right.
What made you think you need one? We don't even have an LLC filed yet. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But those are the types, or they'll want to hire someone, immediately before we've even worked on prospecting or business development to get clients. It's like, what do you need to hire anybody for right now?
Yeah. It's interesting. And why they're doing that, I'm going to kind of venture out on this one, is they've only seen other businesses. They've never understood the why and the when. They
Yep.
just think that's what you have a business. I got to hire people
Yeah.
to do it. Or maybe they're kind of flush with cash right now
Yep.
and they're
And it's
not
burning a
good
hole.
stewards of it. And they're just going to
Nope.
like, I'll get this guy and this guy. I'm like, man, and just hires, okay, employees, a holy cow, because they all
They don't
start out as
understand the W.
liabilities.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a
Don't
while and
understand
you
it.
don't know what you're doing. It's gonna be a while before they're an actual asset. And that payroll comes every week, every 2 weeks, and it never goes away. It's
Nope.
like kids. They're always on the payroll. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just,
At least for the first 40 years.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. But now, but in it's again instilling that discipline in them and understanding is I call them out. We're the outside eyes, right? For any business. We can come in and we can see the problems in a heartbeat. Minutes, hours, I can figure out all the problem because there's no emotional attachment with me.
Exactly.
I didn't
Yep.
build it. I don't have it. I don't know these people. I come in and I'm like, boom, boom, boom. Here's what I do. I see what's missing, what's lacking. I recover the profit. We take care of this. We install command. We just good to go. Okay. Can't see that when you're the guy or you're the
Yep.
girl and you're the one in there. You just and you have to. The sooner you can hear that and accept that from a coach like you, someone come and just work with me. Let me do this. Now you're in a really good spot in the 0 to 1 thing because you can kind of
Well,
put your foot down out of the gate.
that and the other thing is we don't just coach, right? We actually have a full implementation
Right.
team. So we're actually doing the management, we're actually doing the filing, we're doing all the work essentially. So technically, you did hire a whole team. Why are you thinking about hiring anybody more?
Oh yeah, good point. Very, very good point. Yeah, thanks for the clarification. I kind of knew you did that, but I didn't put it together. Um, man, that is like I'm telling you, like just hearing that, I'm like, what an advantage.
Huge,
I mean,
massive.
someone
That's
install
why, yeah.
because I tell people go ask any owner, okay, of a business, do you want your business systemized? And I said, well, of course they do. Okay, and they're all going to say yes. Now ask them if they're going to do it. Well, let's get it. Well, I'm not going to do it. I don't have the bandwidth for that. I'm not building it. None of them want to do it.
Yep.
You can come in and legitimately install the system, the lanes, if you will, for people to work in and run in and succeed. That is a like just get the checkbook out. Okay. Because it's
Yeah.
worth whatever you got to pay. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And they will pay a lot of money for that.
The other thing that I have a pet peeve on is people always want to teach and coach, but it's kind of like you're going to coach and teach someone how to do a surgery and then expect they're going to know how to do it. There's a lot of things where, because I do have programs where it's just coaching, and then we have full implementation and management support. The clients that I have that are just coaching, their chances of success is 80% lower,
Right.
because it's literally like sometimes chasing them, like, hey, have you done this? You were
Mhm.
supposed to do this last week. Oh
Yeah.
no, my kid's sick. Oh, I had this, and then I had the
Mm.
fever, and then my cat fell out of the window.
Mm.
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it's
Oh,
like, you know what? Let us just do it. Let's move
right.
this business forward, and you can go deal with your flying cat later or
Yeah.
on your own.
Honestly, though, I'm thinking of that, and that can go one of two ways. That can work, or you still have a person who doesn't understand they have to work. Okay, like I always
Yeah.
tell a lot of my clients, I go, I'm not your employee. Okay, you're not paying me for me to do the work. I'm here to outline it. I'm here to forecast. I'm here to see. I'm here to be a consult, right? You have an idea, and we're gonna beat that around, and I'm gonna tell you, great. Okay, well, this is what's gonna happen. So here's
Yeah.
your options, right? And that kind of stuff. So, but like I said, but if and it is just the tyranny of the urgent and all that kind of stuff that they do. But yeah, you really got to be pretty disciplined as someone in your position as a coach. Like you got to be in charge.
Yeah.
You
You
kind
have
of
to. Otherwise,
yeah,
they don't they
they're
don't
gonna
get
make
shit
you look
done.
bad. They're gonna make you look bad.
That's exactly,
That's
that's
right.
the thing. Like my clients, which were just coaching, I'm getting to a point where I'm, ready to fire half of them because of that reason. It's like we give you every single tool, now you have to implement. If you don't move your ass, what am I supposed to do here? That
Yeah.
is not the package you purchase.
You're reaching the point I reached. I'm like, I'm kind of like I'm kind of done with this. I'm moving into something new. I'm gonna
Yeah,
go make a bigger impact in a bigger
that's why
way.
yeah,
And yeah, and I totally get it, because and everyone is, if you haven't coached or you're thinking about coaching or whatever, it's one of those things where, man, when you're passionate about what you do and you've done it, there's a key right there.
yeah.
You've built and run businesses. But I built and run businesses. There is a lot of business coaches who have never run a
They're
business.
only businesses that coaching that they
Yeah,
just
and it's
started
really,
yesterday
I mean, I could
from
smell it from like 3 states away, right? But like but they're out there, okay,
oh
and
yeah,
that it
there's
muddies the
more of them
water
than
every
less of
time.
us.
Yeah, so it's because it's hard. First, we spent decades probably running businesses, and now we're trying to help others or doing the same thing at a time, doing the two things at once. But it's a challenge. But what do you bring, and how is it being received, and everything else, and it's really you have to pre-qualify your clients, right? Like, right,
That's the part I'm getting to. Yeah, I
you
can't
really
help
you
everybody.
you're
Not
going to keep
everybody
building it
deserves
out.
it.
Pretty soon, you're going to have, well, I need a half hour of your time to see if this is a fit. And they're like,
Yeah,
what? I go, yeah, you don't just get to work with me. Okay, we have to be aligned. I mean,
yeah.
there's a coach out there for you. It may not be me. Okay, there's a lot of coaches, a lot of different levels. And even I tell my clients, well, you're going to outgrow me, and if you don't, I'm a bad coach.
Then we have a problem. Yeah,
Right. Like I need you to outgrow me, and hey, but some I've been with 4 or 5 years, but we're at the point now where it's a consultant call. It's like, here's
yeah.
what we're doing. Give me, and we get feedback. Do this, do this. What do you think should be next? It's not, let's install the accounting system.
Right.
We've got all that stuff. Like I've those people and me have elevated to the big picture stuff.
Oh yeah,
Where's
that's a
let's look
different
at
ball
the
game.
whole battleground.
Yeah,
Let's look at the entire war. What do we got going on here? Where are we going next? What are we conquering? What does that look like? Because we've done all the hard work in the
yeah.
early stages, like what you're installing with these people. And what you're doing, Azgari, is when people don't realize it, you're compressing time.
We're collapsing time. Exactly.
It's 10 years into one.
Yep.
Like, and they need
That's
to
the
know
part.
that. I hope you tell people that. You understand? Like, I'm going to put this 1 year, this your first year is going to be equivalent to 10 years of doing it yourself. And it's not, I'm not making that number. Like, that's legit.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Everybody who's come to us has already tried and failed at doing something on their own or multiple things on their own, or they've already been burned by some other type of business model. One guy did vending machine, another one did Amazon auto
Oh,
store.
there's a whole cemetery full
Oh,
of those
God.
guys. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
But
So
but here's the thing,
they
like
get it.
you are incredibly lucky. Now I hope that's like a pre-qualification. You have to tried and failed. Like if they
Well,
tried and
it's
failed, they're gonna listen a lot better than the ones that
that's
haven't.
the so that's the other thing. Like the clients who are with our full program where we're doing the implementation, we're
Mhm.
launching, it's our entire team is building every aspect. They are way better clients
Right.
than the ones that are just coaching clients because the onus of actually taking action is so much more dependent on them. And that's, I think that in itself is a whole different skill set even for me to have,
Right.
for because I'm naturally a very action oriented person. It
Right.
I have a hard time understanding I'm telling you exactly what to do today and you're not doing it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and this, it's there's a larger investment when you're systemizing their business.
Also
Okay.
true.
So, and when
A
people
lot more
pay, they
money.
pay attention, and when they pay a lot,
Yeah.
they pay a lot of attention. Okay.
Right.
And they listen, they
Exactly.
do, and they understand what I call the 5% rule. Whereas in what you're doing, I think whether you know this or not, you may totally know this, but when you go in and you're installing all these systems and processes for them in the beginning, what you're doing is you're training them to focus on the 5% of the business only they can do. Like
Yeah.
all this stuff we're
Exactly.
putting in, that's for every, you hire people for that. Like
Yep.
you don't even waste your time. You only
Yeah.
need to be familiar with it. You don't need to know it, all the nuts and bolts. Right. So and man, I'm telling you, if only, okay, when I began, I had someone like that. Okay. Where I'd be, my big joke was always that first 20, if I only had the money I lost, okay, I'd be sick. So, so on that point, I tell people, like I said, if they've done something and failed, I always hope, because I don't really work with startups, they have to have scars. They've got to get punched in the face. They got to have some scars. They have lost money, made bad decisions. Then they can appreciate what people like you and I do.
Yep.
And
Valid.
they're open to listening, and they're going to lay down the money for it, and they're going to
Yep.
let's make this happen. Just tell me what to do. I will approve it, and let's roll. You know
Yeah.
that's where their success and your success is going to be parallel. It's going to be awesome. I love it. Well, people think, but everyone has to win. Okay.
Yes,
So I'm a
absolutely.
coach, you're a client. Let's go win together. Okay.
Yeah.
This is not a one sided deal because I wouldn't do it.
No,
Okay.
and for me, it's honestly the other part of it is I do invest in certain clients. So after that first year initial, if it's someone I actually liked working with, if
Mhm.
it's someone that, I can see a potential in because we built their whole business, we know exactly what's going on in the business.
Right.
I do invest. I do invest in
Awesome.
second and third year.
Yeah.
So,
And so here, I have friends who do something similar. They got about, I think they're at 14 businesses now they invest in, but they find that SME, subject matter
mhm,
expert, like
mhm.
you, this guy get into it and they're like, and they're the financial fuel, right? And they get
Yes.
20 to 40% of that business.
Yep.
And this
Yeah,
guy's
that's about
happy,
what
they're
I
running
keep.
their thing, and it's beautiful. That's it. But what you said, this is the most important takeaway for everyone, is alignment, even investor alignment. Okay. Money doesn't, you don't just get money from anybody. Okay. You don't get an investor who just because they have money, they don't get to be an investor. This is one of those disciplines that I think a lot of people don't understand. You have to be aligned. You build a portion of their business. You understand how they operate. If they are that 5%er, that's cool. Like, like this thing's going to go and continue to go, and they're going to get past the 5 year mark, and they're going to continue on the road. They're expanding and do all that stuff. So you have a very quantified ability to invest, right,
Right.
and
I know
prepare them for
what
it.
and who I'm investing in.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, like there's all kinds of different investment levels and strategies and everything else. But when you're talking a service business, especially, there has to be alignment there. They either have to
And
have done it.
trust.
Yeah, well, trust, exactly. So I do the same thing now. It's like I got to find the owner operator, the exit. They get all these certain parameters, like because otherwise they're not going to understand what I'm doing. They're just going to want results. That's where a lot of this tech stuff gets kind of goofy. They just want
Yeah.
results and they compromise on everything to drive revenue. And I'm not that person. I'm not a guy who
Right.
compromises on my
Yeah.
integrity, on what I have, what I've built, and everything
Yep.
else. No, you're going to have to be aligned with me. Otherwise, it's a hard no. Take your
Yeah.
money and
It's
move
not
on
going to
down the
work.
road. Yeah.
Yeah. Or I helped you for a year. Now you have everything we built.
Yeah. You're
Go
good to
be on
go.
your.
We'll be watching.
Yeah.
We'll be watching.
Yeah.
Go get it. I have found similar to you, one of my biggest joys in the coaching and helping these businesses was freeing them from the owner prison and watching their lives come back into balance, watch them spend time with their kids, spend time with their spouse, do this stuff like that that was what I worked for. Yeah, I get paid and everything else, but that was like when they hit that point, and I use an example. I had a client, 8 years in business, construction business, remodeling, and his wife sent me a message, say, listen, 8 years, I never thought this was possible. We just spent 2 weeks at the beach with all 5 of our kids, and he was never on the phone. She goes, it's a miracle. Okay. And I'm like, well, that keeps
Like
me
that's
going.
why. Yeah.
That's why I do what I do. You know what
Yeah.
I
I should
mean?
have found you 15 years ago.
Right. So but it's like that. But again, what drives us to do it?
Yeah.
It's not money.
Exactly.
It's not that. It's all little parts of it. But really, you got to find where the real joy comes from it, and is that because those people aren't ever going to forget you
No.
for that. Engagement's done, everything else, you're on your way, you're helping others, but like that's a life alterer.
Yeah.
In that
It's
sense.
it's your first kiss, right? It's your first dance. It's those people that you always remember, even if
Right.
they're not memorable people.
Right. But yeah, and you went through it. You because I love when I get someone who's been in business for 6 years, 8 years, and they're doing 12 jobs at once. I'm like, what are you doing that for? Like, and you come and you reorganize and you get them dialed in and double and triple their income because they're not pricing correctly. You make all these little corrections that in 9 months, 12 months, 14,
A
16 months,
whole
you're like,
different person.
it's a whole different world, serving different people they like. They have
Yeah.
clients they like now. Okay. They don't hate
Yeah.
every person
Shocking.
they see, right? It's just, it's so rewarding. There's just a
Yep.
lot of reward in this intangibles,
Yeah.
that you get from this too, as well as the tangible. But yeah, yeah. So I'm with you. I really like that. I'm really impressed by your model, Asgar. Like the whole
Thank you.
that 0 to 1 and setting up some like holy cow, man. Like I wouldn't even think of that because I like don't even want to work with those people. It's like
I mean, it's definitely, yeah, they're very airy fairy, right? Because they don't know anything. It's
right,
like mesenchymal cells. I don't know if I want to be an arm or a leg or where I'm gonna
right.
go.
But to bring order to that chaos,
Yeah.
okay, that's big. I mean, what you've created, and that I've never heard of anyone doing that at that 0 to 1 year. I mean, all you get is group coaching, or you get
Yeah.
SBA helpers who just
Yeah.
they suck the life out of you ever wanting to have a business. You go with those people because it's all just regimented regulation. This, I'm like, man, I just need to go sell. Okay,
Yeah.
I do all that
Exactly.
stuff. You know, 'cause- yeah,
That's the other piece that we do different. I focus on more of the MVP model from the SaaS company world,
Mhm.
right? The SaaS world where I'm not going to focus on the bells and whistles, right? I don't need you
You
to have the prettiest website. I don't need you to have the
yes,
nicest door hangers. Let's actually focus on getting customers through the door. That's as soon as we have the legalities and the licensure done, we're focusing on getting customers, full
yeah,
stop, period. Then we can work on your website in 8 months when it matters.
right.
Let's just get some real reviews through the door.
Yeah, Asgard, this is why, and I'm not saying this because you're my guest. That's why you're the real deal. You can tell by the things you've said during this whole conversation that you've been there and you've done it, and you're not. I hate fluff. I'm anti-fluff. My latest book
Ditto.
is Sharpen the Peers, like no fluff. It's 97 pages, includes the blank pages, the copyright pages. Like it's a field manual. I speak in manual terms, like go do
Yep.
this, step
Yeah.
by step by step. Do this stuff is no nonsense. I can't handle any fluff. I don't want theory. Okay, I want hand. Like we've done
Yeah.
this. This works. Put this in place. If it doesn't work, we're going to make it work. Okay,
Or we'll
like,
find something else that will work better.
exactly.
I am all about pivoting if we need to. Nothing is set
Yeah,
in
that's
stone.
business. That's business. Well, if you never pivot, like you don't have a business. Like
So, that's the part that's interesting now with franchises. Think about all of these service-based franchises now. They have systems in place from 6, 7 years ago that they're making these 30, 300, 500 franchisees follow. And yet now we have way cheaper software and AI that perform 1,000 times better that these franchisees can't have access to because it's not part of the national franchise.
right,
So they're set up to fail to a small company that I'm launching,
right,
right? Where it's
right.
agile and they
I
can
love
beat
it.
any pricing.
Yeah,
So
and that's part of the fun, right? Isn't that part of the fun? Like I love
can't
taking people
lie.
down. I'm just competitive, man. I want like if I can do that, yeah, watch this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if
Like,
I can do it cheaper, we're switching. Done.
yeah, yeah. It's and the struggle, Asgari, is as your business or businesses grow, a franchise, even if it's three. I have a guy that does dog training, has a dog training franchise. Right, really cool. Like lean, but he does the stuff is really, and he's got 42 franchises, 46. Like that,
Wow. Okay.
that's really cool, and that's kind
Yeah.
of a thing out there. But he's got a unique, he's got a unique method, really simple. But again, they're agile, like he can adjust to the market. You have to build that as a constant in your business. Like you said, yeah, we've got all this, and I have 700 locations, and we have the systems from 6, 8 years ago, but I can't adjust because the ship is too big, either to turn or turn around. But if you build agility into your system, and no one's thinking that far ahead, but like, how do we build agility and understanding that any AI expert I talk to won't give you a prediction past like 30 days.
You
They'll go out
can't.
6 months to go on a limb and
Yeah.
they have to give a disclaimer. But it's like it's changes too
Yeah.
fast. So you have to go into it with that mindset, right? And business is no different. Like this, there's tools are evolving so rapidly, way beyond our scope of conception, that we have to build the aspect of adaptation into our business as a constant, right?
Like as the standard. But
Right,
I think a lot of existing, service-based franchises, they're started by people who are not tech or techie, or as
right,
they would
right.
like to think of themselves, right? Like, no, we're service-based. Well, there's a lot of tech in service now. So you better catch up.
I realize this new thing I'm doing for manufacturing. I go, this is just like a week ago. I'm looking at everything and I'm like, this is 85% tech. And that's actually where my long-term big money's made is on the tech side. It's
Oh yeah,
15%
huge.
human. It's a very important 15%. It's a critical what they do, but I'm like, but 85% of this whole thing is tech. I'm like a tech startup. This is weird because I'm not a tech guy. Okay. So it's
Like,
just,
whoops, I didn't know that.
yeah, but it's like, but you realize like this is the importance to your point. Like you haven't given us enough thought and depth of investigation to realize it's a major component of your business. It's not what it was 10, 15, 30 years ago. This is like it's a major component of your business, and you have to factor that in for not just usage but cost, maintenance, all this kind of stuff. There's a lot of elements to this aspect. It's not easy to say, not so easy to do, and keep it going.
And it'll be interesting in the next 2 years because a lot of what we're utilizing in AI is subsidized, right?
Yeah.
It's we don't know what that landscape is going to look like once either they stop subsidizing or what are they going to do?
That's the same thing with solar. Solar is the exact same thing. No one would buy it if it wasn't subsidized.
Right. So what
Nobody.
is the, yeah,
Nobody. So I'm
yeah.
like, I was roofing business, so that stuff's up there. I'm like, they'd only bought it because they got $8,000 off. They got 15,000. I'm like, well, this is a disaster. Okay, because there's going to be maintenance, there's going to be a replacement, and there's all that. I'm like, and it's on your roof. Okay, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I would never sell someone a solar panel, unless it's like 3 inches by 3 inches for my trickle charger on my battery in the garage or something. I don't know, but it's like that kind of thing. Like they don't understand what they've gotten into. But when
Nope.
it has to be subsidized, this is just a general business takeaway. If you're selling something that has to be subsidized for people to have it, that's a short-term gain.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Make
That
your
is not a
money, get
business to
out.
build. Yep. Do it now and then have a really short exit strategy. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyways, I digress. What do you say? But so let's kind of put a bow on all this. Okay. I mean, you brought some really great stuff to the table here. I absolutely love your market niche, and it's a niche.
It
I
is
really
absolutely a
think you're
niche.
you're super niched, and I love it because you took one thing and you drove it. I love it. It's in it and it's succeeding, and it's really cool what you're doing. So
Thank you.
I'm proud of you. I
Thank
don't
you.
know you very well. I'm proud of you because no,
Thank you.
I would never even attempt that. Okay, not
It's a
many things. So that is like God bless you. Okay, I want to see you keep succeeding, so no one else
thank
is
you.
tempted to do it. Okay, because it's you're insane. Okay, but I love it. I love you doing it. So it's really good. But kind of give us some final thoughts on this and where it goes, and then of course we'll talk about how to get in touch with you and everything like that. But kind of wrap this up for us.
It's simple. Go to our website, azgari.com. And if you want to get a hold of us, if you have a business idea you want to run through with us, send us an email. Our email's on our website. It's azgari.com.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So it just think about this. And I think another big takeaway from this whole thing, we bring it up from the beginning, is your white collar clients. These people whose jobs are tending to go away. Now's the time to reach out
Sure
to someone
is.
like you, as
Yep.
Gary, and like put a plan together. You don't need to know what, just know you
Yeah.
want to do it. I was
Do
mentioning that to my
something.
to my son's girlfriend this morning. You don't have to know exactly what. Pick an arena. Pick the arena you want to be in. You don't have to
You
know
don't even need to
specifically.
pick an arena.
Right.
We'll
Well,
help
that's
you pick
true.
the arena.
Right. But well, okay, then let me rephrase it. Know what you don't want to do. If you can
That
start with what you
helps.
don't want to do, that's a really good starting place, because you
Yep.
will waste no time in anything that has anything to do with that. And we've all
Yep.
got our thing we don't want to do. I already told you mine. It's a 0 to 1 start off. I don't want to do that. I don't care how good you get. I'm never following. I'm just telling you. I already know this, so you'll never have competition from me in that space. No, but it's been really good. So this has been a great conversation, Asgari. Thank you for taking
Same.
the time, sharing all this. Just awesome. You brought some great stuff to everyone to hear and take away and make notes. So reach out, as I always tell everybody. You just listen to two action takers. We're doers. We get things done. Anything she's offering, talk to her, do this. You have to take the action on that. Take the steps forward. Don't think about it. Be about it. It's just how you got to be. If you want to succeed in business, if you're thinking that, if you can't do this now, you're not going to do a business. Take
Exactly.
action now, push yourself forward, get uncomfortable, get off the couch or your swivel chair in the office that you're about to lose in 6 months. Okay, take action, get this stuff in place, and let's move forward and let's get you on the entrepreneurial road to success, because that's where it lives. And when done right, it'll be the greatest thing you've ever done. So
Facts.
awesome. So again, thank you for the time today. And for everybody else, we'll see you on the next STS podcast. Thanks for joining me on the Sharpen the Spear podcast. If you're a manufacturing executive and you're serious about unlocking hidden profit, improving frontline leadership, and taking control of your floor, go to grit2lead.com right now. Run the free Sharpened Impact Simulator and discover your biggest opportunities are hiding. Don't leave millions on the table. Sharpen your spear, lead from the front, and win the floor. Until next time, Stay sharp.